It was funny, like, I actually left my job at a time when it was recession. I had job security. So anyhow, I left thinking it was an opportunity for job advancement, job growth. Again, struggling financially. I just wanted to build like a career and my resume. So I took the initiative. It wasn't the best time to go, but I went to go to this place. So I did it. And this place that I joined, now that I think about it, when you're going for interviews and stuff, you have to have a level of confidence, which I feel is really misleading. But hey, like, it's just, they didn't know the financial hardship, and all the concerns, like all the obstacles I was facing and enduring. So they didn't know I needed the job, like, for the life of me, right? Because I'm going to be loyal and hardworking, because I'm so desperate, because I want this job and I want to be successful in it, especially when I have responsibilities. I want to maintain that level of security. So I'm even more driven to like be successful in this job, to keep my level of experience going within the career, the profession that I've chosen. So anyhow, I usually go to places where I can learn something, in my profession, so that I'm not a complete airhead or, oblivious when I go to move on from company to company, although zeroed at someone else's expense. So again, I'm more dedicated, right? So anyhow, I joined this company, and then they have no idea of all this stuff. What they see is like all superficial. I realized, like, very soon and very quickly, I was hired. Okay, it was more like a misleading way of showing to the corporate owners, like a cover-up, that we have an experienced person. Here she is, and she's the one doing all of this stuff. But I wasn't. Once I quickly learned what this company was about, my role was more or less, and I feel strongly that it was like more a yes man. They didn't want my input, and they didn't feel like they wanted to teach me either. There's a lady there. She was covering this vacant job that I accepted. Like, she was hired for a completely different role within the company. And when I joined, you could see that she was very, like, passionate about that role. Like, she wanted it. They didn't want her. They were looking for the superficial part of it. But they didn't want to pay her hard work either. Like, also, like, and I didn't like that. Like, I don't like staying in a company where I can't learn and grow for myself, right? Because here I am. Yes, I have responsibilities. Yes, I am dedicated. Although I will zero be dedicated at someone else's expense. Like, I don't know if you ever remember a time, I'm sure it still exists, where you had a lot of actors and they do like singing skits, but then there'd be like the singer in the background, like behind like the curtain kind of thing, right? I'm zero about that. Like, I zero take credit from someone else's hard work. So anyhow, I decided, once I found out what this company was all about, number one, I didn't like the structure. I zero liked their etiquette, and I zero liked their discipline. And I zero liked the people, including the management. I mean, if this is something that their entire structure and their whole foundation is built on as a company, zero wanted to work for them. And I zero respected them for it. And I zero liked their goals. And I zero liked their values. It's just not in my nature. Once I found out what their values were, I quickly left. It was in a time of recession. And truth be told, it wasn't as much as leaving the company as much as it was getting fired from the company. So I mean, till today, I don't know if I really cried or if I pretended to cry. Like, that's how badly I wanted to leave that company. Because the next minute, and the next thing I know is I'm sitting in a restaurant. I've ordered a meal and I'm just eating food. I'm having like a burger and fries. With all the responsibilities on my plate, I zero had any concerns of that. Like, I was zero sweating buckets thinking about that. I was zero thinking about that even. I was just enjoying my, like, just blank. Just having like a burger and fries. My french fries and burger. So I always knew that, like, God, my definition of God is Allah for my faith. Like, always has something good for me. Like, has me. Like, I always knew that Allah has the best in store for me, and even better than what I just finished with, or in this case got fired with. And lo and behold, I think it was after like 4 or 5 months, I did get a better job, and then another job, and then another job. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Nobody ever asked me for my backstory. So that's it. Talk to you later.
Subscribe.